Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentle jammers, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, the most delectable and evil-slaying Chupacabra man, and we're back to take another look at that delicious, retro-inspired game, Darkflame, the alpha demo edition of it. And if you're unfamiliar with Darkflame, Darkflame is a game created by Warren Smith, which takes a lot of inspiration from retro Metroidvania style games, creating a platforming hack-and-slashy RPG Metroidvania game where we have to stop the corrupting influence of none other than the malevolent Darkflame itself, which is some sort of evil entity from an unknown location, which we have been tasked with sealing away. And this is a game that I previewed several years ago, back when it was first coming out on Kickstarter, and that was when it looked a lot more like one of its many inspirations, Castlevania, which a lot of people gave it flack for, but I think in the interim, Warren has done a lovely job of distancing himself from his original inspirations. So here we are, we're playing as Tariel, or Tahariel, and we are a keeper of the flame in training. We are one of the young whippersnappers whose entire existence is to eventually replace the current keepers of the flame, who keep the flame from spreading its evil, beguiling, corrupting influence about the world. And back here... Oh. I didn't even realize there was like a town back over here. So when you start out this game, you start out the game over here, and you walk outside, and it's full of all this sultry murder. But when I was testing it a little bit ago, I didn't really think to go back behind the start of the game and explore this little town over here. So apparently, inside of the castle where the Keepers of the Flame reside is actually a full town full of individuals, shopkeepers, vendors, and characters that you can actually talk to, so that's new. Very cool. But we're one of the Keepers of the Flame, and something's going on. Like, the other night, there was this weird flash in the darkness, and then all of a sudden, these monsters were coming out of this castle and eating the local town folk that were doing stuff, minding their own business, and trying not to be fondled by the local, ne'er-do-wells. And we haven't been able to contact the Keepers of the Flame in a bit. We're not really sure what the flip is going on, but we're pretty sure that it's not good. So we've been tasked with going and figuring out what their deal is so that we can help keep all the citizens alive. I feel like that's a reasonable objective out in the world. So we're gonna go stab things like this weird... This guy's kind of neat. He's kind of like a snake-headed knight that has gotten all corrupted. And so that's kind of the deal with the Darkflame. It corrupts the spirits and souls of mankind and turns them into evil beasts. Or it could just turn them into just like a dickish version of themselves. All of the above are completely within the realms of potential here. I'm gonna just be careful I don't get stabbed in the butt by these little spikes, because they're rude. But yeah, so we're just gonna go through this castle and figure out what the flip has been going on in here. Because it's pretty evil shenanigans, I'll tell you that much. I mean, these guys, I think, used to be guardians of the castle, but now they want to stab me. And that seems a little bit rude, if you ask me anyway. I don't know, it could just be that these are just like some bandits that have broken into the castle and they're just touching people as they come through. I don't know, I'm not an expert on old evil castles, but I'd like to think I get pretty close. Oh, hello gentlemen, how are you? You having a good time in here? Let me level up real quick. So there's actually a surprisingly decent, but not too complex, leveling system in here, where you can level one of 3 stats. You can have more health and physical attack damage. You can increase your defense rating and your chance to crit and do damage with your sort of secondary found weapons that you hurl at people. And then you can also do magic and have improved elemental defenses and fondle people with magic. In fact, maybe we can use magic. Let's see, let's go to equipment. Let's equip the firewall spell. And then that should allow us to burn these kids. Yay, who likes to be crispy? Do you, Timmy? I bet you do. Who's a crispy little critter? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh yeah, the other thing is that you're, much like games like Castlevania, you can get stuff by stabbing sources of light. Now, since I last played this game, I did go back and play some of the original Castlevania games, and I can certainly see the references being made to there, and a lot of the direct inspiration being taken. But now that he's, like, Warren's had a chance to sort of flesh things out a little bit, I don't think we're in too bad a case of, like, copying Castlevania anymore. Now it's just a lot of the art style definitely pulls references from those titles. And I don't mind it. Like, this is a good style of 16-bit art, so there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And I want these daggers, but the world doesn't want me to have them, you spicy devil. I guess I gotta go through this horror fest of stabby spines and everything. And I gotta be double careful that I don't get bitten by any of these bats, because vampirism is just your average run-of-the-mill cold in this universe, like that, and it just makes you really, really bitey for a while. But just like poison that we experienced a little bit earlier, it'll eventually wear off, but until then, it's just kinda gonna suck a little bit. Ow. Oh, did I just get corrupted by whatever that? Flippin' evil murder skulls, this is why we can't have nice things. And you know what, just because of that, I'm gonna throw stuff at you guys. Because you're rude. Your friends are rude. There we go. I love the axes. Like, the spinning boomerang murder axes are probably the best. So what do we got in here? Oh, god damn it, Batsy. We talked about this. You're not supposed to do that. Oh yeah, and the skulls can give you confusion, which means you run along and your controls sometimes swap. So you run in the wrong direction at random. And it's absolutely maddening. It pisses me right off. So, yep. Oh, we can also get our corpse, like Dark Souls style. So I think I'm actually gonna die of vampirism again, but that's fine. I don't really intend to stay down here. And that'll just get me back to the next location faster. So we just picked up some piece of armor. We got this forest cloak, which I imagine eventually Warren will put in the ability for, like, when you change gear, your character's physical appearance will change. So that'll be cool whenever that ends up happening. And I'm feeling like a talent system might be in order. Like, not a crazy one, but I'm feeling like randomly getting the ability to get different tools or secondary abilities that augment your primary skill set might be kind of neat. I don't know. Like, maybe you could just pull upon your powers as, like, a training keeper of the flame, because I'm essentially just a paladin, really, a magical paladin. And I could use that knowledge in order to defend myself from evil. Like, it looks like there's a fair number of different types of monsters in this game. Like, maybe I could just get the Holy Avenger ability that lets me blast enemies with, like, holy fire, so that, like, zombies take extra damage from it. That's probably something that we're gonna get in the form of a spell, but I just like having, like, augments to my abilities in the form of talents sometimes, because that lets me feel like I'm customizing my gameplay as I go through, which is the best. So let's level up our strength again. We're gonna need a whole host of strength to get through this. And we're gonna go deal with Snakes Mackenzie here, who's gonna poison me because he's rude. Did no one ever tell you how to be more hospitable to a Knight of the Flames, sir? I'm kind of a big deal, alright? There's like 3 Keepers of the Flame, and I'm gonna be one of them one day. After I totally don't stab one of the other ones in their sleep, anyway. So, I already kind of played around in here and found a couple of the upgrades that you can get, and one of them is hiding down here. If you watched my other video about Darkflame, back when it first was coming onto Kickstarter, you'd recognize the double jump ability of the Holy Angel Wings, which now allows me to flippity fly all over the flippin' place. And I'm gonna use it to stab Gargamel here, because he's rude. And he's also hiding this delicious howling cloak from me, which I presume is a very valuable commodity. But unfortunately, until we kill, I think, the first boss, we can't get through these random stone walls in order to go to the next area yet, so we're just gonna have to be a good boy and wait. That said, there is another save point over here, which I fully intend to make use of. So yay. What else was going on with the story of this game? So, Warren has written quite a bit more information that we can use to derive story information from. Namely that the Darkflame that we're trying to stop, or contain, has existed since the beginning of ever. Oh, there's a dude with a shield here. Now that's just being rude, game. This is just being rude. Now I gotta stab him in his delicious, delicious ankles. How dare you? How dare you have your delicious shield? I don't have a shield. You're gonna make me use magic, aren't you, Warren? But yeah, so the Darkflame's been around for a while, and it's always been corrupting mankind and turning us into all manner of not-so-savory beasts. But thankfully, we found these ancient texts that told us how to contain it and create a bunch of new technology in the form of, like, weapons and magic and other stuff that would allow us to work out how to stop it to some degree. Now, my question would be, where did these texts come from? But we might not figure that out for a bit. So here's a random traveler. He's like a merchant or something, and he says, "Ah, welcome. What do you want?" "Oh, well, maybe if you check back and make significant progress, I might have something new to sell you, Larry. Just remember, it's dangerous to go alone, so here, buy this. Hee hee hee." So yeah, he's just some random assassin. He's chilling out here. I can't seem to stab him, which is unfortunate. And, up here is the first boss. Notice all the lovely flesh and murder. I'm gonna go ahead and not fuck with him yet, because I want to show you what's down here. First, anyway. So, over here, we have a pyre. Now, as a keeper of the flame, we're allowed to make really cool magical flames, and we can create one of 4 colors of fire that allow us to craft different sorts of weapons, armor, and magic to accentuate our kit of abilities, sort of like that talent system I was talking about, but this is more item-oriented. So there is going to be an aspect of crafting in here. Personally, I have no idea what any of this means, but let's go with I don't know, the red flame. Oh, it's spooky and sinister. So it doesn't really let us create anything or add a tribute, but this would allow us to teleport back to the start of the game if we wanted to. I really don't, because that seems kind of silly. But the option is there, and I think that's going to make for a cool functionality later. But you never quite know. I don't want that. Alright, here's the friendship room that you might recall from the first game, or the first time I previewed this game. Oh look, it's Billy Stabs McGee. How are... Billy, stop it. Billy, ow, you son of a... We talked about this, Billy. You little bastard. Fine, have some fire. You jerk. Ow. Yeah, the other thing I'm not too keen on is I think unless the enemy is actually, like, attacking me or in mid-attack swing, I don't think a bunch of that stuff should do any damage to me, honestly. Like, I don't think hitting an enemy's physical body in these games anymore should hurt me. Now, I know that's a throwback to the old retro-style games, and it's still done in quite a few games, even today, but I don't necessarily know that that's a thing that you need to do anymore. You got a lot of options for gameplay, and that just seems unnecessary. Come on, stab him. Look, Mr. Guardman, I just want your shins. Just share your shins with me. There we go, beautiful. But I don't know. It's not really my place to say what makes for a flavorful game. I'm not a game developer, I'm just a critic that kind of has a good idea of what he wants in a game. I'm also not exactly certain what purpose it serves to have... Ooh, is that... Oh, okay, I guess that's not... That might have been health, but who knows? I'm not sure what purpose it serves to allow the player to recover parts of their lost body, but you can do that in this game by picking up your corpse. I don't know if that, like, gets you back items, or if it gets you, like, experience or something, but the option certainly exists to do that. Unfortunately, this is, like, as far as I've gotten with this first boss, just because it's kind of hinky to try and dodge around his stuff all the time, and it just doesn't quite work out for your pal Larry. Although, there are some other details that I'm reminded of now that I've seen that it's dark outside. So one of the things that Warren has added to the game is he's actually added some weather cycles, like you can run into the rain, you can run into the day, to the night, probably to some wind and some crispy autumn fires in the distance, you know, those delicious wildfires. So you got a lot of different things going on here in the background, which I like. Those are all those little subtle polish things that people just go crazy for. Crazy for Crayola. Alright, yep, gonna stab you. Ow. I don't know what this debuff does. It's like expose? Okay, so these guys can drop health for me. That's nice. Hello, Mr. Knight. Could you not do the things you're thinking about doing? That would be great. I wonder what this guy's deal is. So I'm wondering if we're gonna have to, like, fight the keepers. Oh, come on, game. I feel like this room is just slightly too small. I feel like that's the problem. But yeah, I'm wondering if we also are gonna fight the keepers of the flame or not, which would be cool. I always like fighting the corrupt version of my former bosses. I don't know if that says something about my character or my personality, but, you know, that's out in the air right now. Oh, you know what? I bet it's getting your money back, because I haven't been to town in a while. I'll bet that's what getting your corpse back does. Come on, buddy. Come on. Could you not? Could you frickin' not, you douche? Alright, you know what? Fine. There, I'm gonna burn you. Are you happy? I'm gonna cut your shins. Must you, like, walk right up on me, sir? Sir? Or is it madam? You could be a madam, I don't know. You're wearing, like, armor mostly. You're not people, certainly. Could you fucking just, you know what? Just burn. Just fucking burn. God damn. Alright, but yeah, so this has been a little look at the updated version of Darkflame. I'm gonna go die real quick, because that's basically what this is now, is Larry dying. Oh, there goes the skull Fignewtons. Give me one of them skulls that gives health. I need that one more than you need whatever you're doing. Yep, give me health. I want the health back. There we are. Hey, I got a little further this time on his health pool. Excellent. Now burn! Burn, you peasant. Oh, there it is. But yeah, that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I just thought I'd do like an update on the Darkflame game so you could get a better feel for it. Because everybody keeps messaging me about it and sending comments on that other video. So, you know, whatever. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll check this game out some more in the future as it gets developed. And I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.